Happy day to everyone. The topic I have chosen for my presentation is Phoenician civilization. You all may wonder why I have chosen this topic instead of all other regional and Indian history topics. The topic I have chosen is Phoenician civilization. The reason for choosing this topic is because I like this. I love to take this topic because their contribution to the world is enormous. Though they were very small in size, their contribution to the world is enormous. That's why I like choosing this topic and love to take this topic at any cost, at any time. Let us get into the topic. First, let us see about the geographical position of the Phoenician civilization. This Phoenicia existed on the eastern side of Lebanon Mountains and western edge of Mediterranean Sea, and the territory of modern Lebanon, Syria and Israel existed on all the sides, and one of the side there exists Arabian desert, and this Phoenician civilization was fully covered by river waters and one side on the desert. So it doesn't have any soil or resourceful materials to go on for trade. Only thing they had was the cedar tree, which was very tall in size and which gives very good fragrance. With that, the Phoenicians have started their trade. So that with that help of cedar woods, they made fragrance, they produced perfumes. So with that small thing, they have started their trade. So these Phoenicians, they also existed on the Mediterranean coast, and it was very easy for them to travel as they were on the coast of Mediterranean Sea, and it was very convenient for them to have a seaborne voyage and trade across the world and to many countries. This land, which had very small square miles of their land, that means 120 miles in length and 20 miles in width. This is a very small land, but when we see to their contribution, it is enormous. And the most important thing is that the secret of democracy, that though we think that democracy exists during nowadays, but it is not like that. Democracy existed during the period of the Phoenician civilization. They gave every freedom to everyone, and the people living in those days in Phoenician civilization, they enjoyed their democracy. They had their right to express. They had their right to convey their messages, to express their views, express their opinion, expression of thoughts. So all kind of democratical freedom was there during the period of the Phoenician civilization. And another achievement of Phoenicians was invention of alphabetic scripts. We all think that only the people of English have created these alphabetic scripts, but the credit goes to this Phoenician people who invented alphabetic scripts. They got their scripts from the people of Sumerian civilization, from the people of Egyptian civilization. From those all scripts, they got 600 alphabetic scripts from Egyptian civilization and few scripts from Sumerian civilization. So from all those scripts they couldn't make a sentence. They could not record the long sentences. So that's why they tried their best and found 22 alphabetic scripts that we use even now today. You can all see the scripts which were used by the Phoenicians, and these all things were made during the period of the 11th centuries. So these are all the scripts which were used by the Phoenicians and the replica of what we are using now. So what is the purpose of finding all those scripts? Because the Phoenicians were the people who traveled a lot and who have a widespread trade all over the world, all over the civilizations of the world. For example, cypress wood from Cyprus, wine from France, and from India they exported what we are famous for, spices, black peppers. So like these, they had so many trade contacts with all the civilizations of the world. So whatever they had, they transmitted whatever they had, whatever they gained. They are very, very good people to transmit it to the people of other civilizations of the world. So that is a good qualities of the people of this Phoenician civilization. And the most important thing is that they produced purple dye, which helped them to have more trade contact. So this is the phonetic version of alphabetic scripts, and it was invented during the 11th century BC, dated back to what we have found. These were in inverted versions, and it is now kept in museums. So all these scripts, when we date back to them, it was found around 11th century BC. So they have given only 22 alphabetic scripts. The remaining 4 scripts that we call it now as vowels. What is as A, E, I, O, U. So that E, I, O, U, Phoenicians have invented A already, and the remaining 4 alphabets which were introduced by Greeks were E, I, O, U. So with all those 22, and the Greeks invented the vowels additionally with all together, we are now using that 26 alphabetic scripts. So these are all the 22 characters which were produced by Phoenicians. So this is we can see the replica, same letters which we can see it now. So with this with the phonetics they have given, with the phonetics, how to pronounce. So everything was given by them. So another important contribution of the Phoenician people to the world is the invention of purple dye. So this purple means Phoenicians. The credit of, we even think that this color is modern color. This color belongs to the period of this age, but it is not like that. This purple dye was invented by the Phoenicians. So how they got it? They got it from the local Murex shellfish. So from this is a shellfish which we can see. So with the color of the shellfish is purple. So they dry it, and they from that some kind of liquid they got, and from that liquid they made this purple dye. So with this purple dye, they had a very, very high demand for this purple dye from all the civilizations. The people of other civilizations, they had a very high expectations from the people of this Phoenician civilizations, as they started giving more and more new things with no resources in their hand. So the people of all other civilizations, they had a very good respect on this Phoenician civilizations, and they produced a number of markets with what they had. For example, purple dye and glass. They had a variety of glass vessels. They produced a variety of glass vessels. We remember that Chinese were the people who produced glasswares, but before that, the people of Phoenician civilizations, they had produced a glassware which were so beautiful, so colorful to see. And this is the purple dye, what I have told already, and this is the glassware which they have produced, and this is a cedar tree, what I have told you, from which they got fragrance, and from that they started their trade. And these are all the glass vessels small things which were produced by the Phoenicians, glass. So we can see all the very fine decorations which were carved on the whatever. They have made glasses, so we can see the shapes, we can see the handles, mouth, neck, and we can see the colors and colors. We see the colors of melting, and the combination of colors are very so good to see. So these are all the special inventions of the Phoenician civilizations. Added to that, embroidery, which is very trendy now, but the people of this Phoenician civilization during the earlier ages, they have made this embroidery. See, the embroideries made by them, they have made a very good fine embroidery work. So we think of that the purple color is a trend now, and the embroideries has been invented now. It's not like that. It was already found, and it was already used, and it was already prepared by them, and it was already, they had a very good trade because of all these inventions they have done. So they were the very good makers of embroidery, and with that they had women of those ages, women of the Phoenician civilization, they made all those embroidery work sitting in their home, and with that they had very good trade contact with the neighboring countries of other civilizations. So as a whole, we can see the embroidery work, what they have done, and these things, these are all the scriptures which are now kept in museums, and these are also the embroidery work, and these were glasswares, and these were the people of Phoenician civilization. And the main important cities of Phoenician civilization along the Mediterranean coast was Byblos, Tyre, and Sidon. So all these trade routes they have traveled, and they had exported also to all these places on the sea coast of Mediterranean Sea. So why they have invented the alphabetic scripts? What is the purpose of inventing? So as they had a very good trade contact, as they were on the coast of Mediterranean Sea, they were a very good shipbuilders. As they need to go on for a sea voyage for trade purpose, only with that they survived. So they produced a very good ships for their trade. They had built a very good ships. With that, they traded to other countries, and with these ships, and they became more popular for the construction of their ships, and which was later on requested by the people of other civilizations to make constructions for them. They were not only the very good shipbuilders, but they were also very good builders. They constructed a very good palace at Carthage, the important seaports. They constructed the ports. So on seeing their constructions, on seeing the build-up of ships, the people and the rulers of other civilizations, they requested the people of the Phoenician civilization to do the same work for their people also. And the credit of going for Phoenician star goes to Phoenicians, because as they travel more, the Phoenician people, as they had a widespread trade contact, they travel more. So when they go on for travel, they lost their route. It's normal, because quite normal, because in those days they doesn't have any GPS, or they doesn't have any lights and all to identify and move on to that direction. So from that, because of that, they lost most of the people. As they traveled more, they lost their routes, and they lost their homes. So because of that, the people were wandering to go on search on for something, what to do, how to overcome this. So because people, every men, when they go for for travel, when they go for trade, it's very hard to find the people returning back. So they wanted to come out for something. They want to bring out the solution for this, and they found this Phoenician star. This Phoenician star is nothing but it shows the northern direction. So this Phoenician star is called as northern star. As the Phoenicians had invented this northern star was called as Phoenician star. This northern star always shows the northern direction. So with the help of that, they were able to find out their other directions, and it was easy for them to move on to their own place. So this is the credit of having this Phoenician people. So let us have a short video clip which will explain in short.
Syria and Lebanon. They controlled trade in the Mediterranean and amassed great wealth. Archaeologists drew this conclusion after discovering precious sacrificial offerings such as gilded statues made of bronze.
How many of these words can you read and understand? If the answer is more than 0, the Phoenicians have influenced your life. They developed the first widely used alphabetic script, the derivations of which are used by billions every day worldwide. From international diplomacy and trade negotiations, to a grocery store list and a card a child writes a parent, the alphabet made written communication accessible to the masses. Phoenicia was not a single nation, but a collection of fiercely independent city-states that shared a common culture. Foremost among them, Tyre, Sidon, and Byblos were the premier seafarers of their day, and were the only ancient Mediterranean people to regularly brave the dangers of the Atlantic Ocean, becoming fabulously wealthy, especially through the trade in purple dye, which they maintained a near monopoly on the production of, and the name Phoenician is derived from. The dye was worth far more than its weight in gold, and became associated with royalty for centuries to come.
So I hope you have enjoyed this short video clips, and now let me conclude my topic on Phoenician civilization. Though they were very small in size, their contribution to the world is enormous, and they had established a very good trade all over the world, and their industries we can say this iron making and bronze making and embroidery making, glass making. So with these all things, these people, the women of these civilization, they used to sit at their home and they manufacture all these things with the support of men, and it is the duty of the men to carry all those products made by the women to have trade for their livelihood. Only for their livelihood they have traveled all over the world. But the credit of this Phoenician people is they were called as transmitters of knowledge, because the people of Phoenician civilization, whatever they gained from the people of Egypt, whatever they gained from the people of Sumeria, neighboring civilizations, they immediately transmitted to the people of other civilizations. So the people of the ancient world were able to gain knowledge about all the areas with the help of this Phoenician people, as they were said to be the transmitters of knowledge. So let me conclude by saying that though the Phoenicians were small in size, small in their living area, and they doesn't have any resources for their survival, it is only their courage, it is only their spirit, it is only their hard work, because of the hard work, they were able to come out and they flourished. The people of the ancient Phoenician civilization, they enjoyed their democracy and they had a very good peaceful and prosperous livelihood during those times. It is all because of their hard work, courage, and the spirit they had put in. So that is my end of my presentation. Thank you.